Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of my in-depth review of the new Khorne Daemonkin Codex that came out today. As always, my name is Jay, and today I'll be going over the HQ choices. So far we covered Warlord traits, first impressions, blood, tithe, token, points, things that are going to be nuts. And today we'll be going over the HQs. And so basically some of the HQs, as I said in my previous one, all of the Chaos Space Marines got more expensive, all the demons stayed the same. Sums it up basically. But there will be some combinations, as I said. There is some formations that you may want to think about. So, as I discussed in the previous one. So we'll start with the Chaos Lord. He's a standard Lord. He's 75 points, used to be 65, went up 10 points. And he is still Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength Toughness 4, 3 wounds, Initiative 5, 3 attacks, Leadership 10, 3 up save. I think he will be a favorite one, especially with the Blood Tithe points now, because I think he would be he's an easy choice to get to switch off for a Bloodthirster if you want. Because once you get a bunch of points, you can just switch him out, because he's Leadership 10, so the odds are he's going to pass his leadership check. He doesn't have Demon of Khorne special rule, so you may want to switch him out for Demon Prince, or, you know, he might be an easy swap out. His War Gear, Power Armor, Bolt Pistol, Close Combat Weapon, Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades. And special rules, he's Blood for the Blood God, of course. Fearless, independent character. Mark of Khorne. Skull for the Skull Throne. So it means he has to accept or issue challenges when possible. And you can give him any of the special issue War Gear I went over last video. And you can place, you model in Terminator Armor. So you can give him Terminator Armor for 40 points. And then you can replace his Kami Bolter with the following: Kami Flamer, Melta or Plasma for 7 points. Power Weapon for 12, Lightning Claw for 17, Power Fist for 22, Chain Fist for 27. So, pretty cool stuff. So he's a pretty standard Chaos Lord. You know, he's just a generic HQ. As I said, he might be a really fun one to do the Tithe points with, because then you can just swap him out and get a Demon Prince. And up next, the Demon Prince. Demon Prince is 160 points. Used to be 150, so again, or 145, so he went up 15 points. Again, I was kind of surprised the amount of things that went up, but of course, with the new Blood Tithe rules, things can get really nasty. And he's still Demon Prince, Weapon Skill 9, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength 6, Toughness 5, so he can be instant killed. 4 wounds, 8 initiative, Attacks 5, Leadership 9, no armor save. You can give him Warp Forged Armor for 20 points, which I highly recommend, and you can give him Demonic Flight for 40 points, which gives him wings. Again, highly recommend. Special rules: Blood for the Blood God, Demon of Khorne, Deep Strike, Fearless, Skull for the Skull Throne, and you can give him any of the gifts. So cool stuff. Once again, he's a solid HQ choice. If you do take him, I definitely recommend taking the Armor and Wings, because that way he can fly to where he needs to go. And he gets there much faster, gets into close combat, starts ripping things apart, giving you those Blood Tithe points. That's going to be the key, I think, to the winning, to being a demon. If you're playing this codex, you got to keep track of those Blood Tithe points and use them to your advantage. I think that's the key. Up next, we have Herald. Herald is 55 points. Same points as it was before. Yeah, it's just, from the Demon Codex. Weapon Skill was 7, Strength 5, Toughness 4, 2 wounds, Initiative 6, 3 attacks, Leadership 8, 6 up save. Right, of course it's a demon, so it's a 5 up and vulnerable. And Blood for the Blood God, Demon of Khorne, Deep Strike, Fearless, Independent Character, Skull of Skull Thrones. So again, a standard, if you want a cheap, solid HQ, a Herald could be the one. Not really solid, but cheap HQ. 55 points, really can't go wrong with a Herald. You know, got to keep him alive. And just keep him surrounded by other demons, and you'll be in good shape. I believe he's an independent character. Yep, so good to go. Up next, we have the Blood Throne, which I don't remember the previous points of the Blood Throne. So it's Blood Throne's 130 points. And there's a Blood Throne, which is armor 12 around, 10 points, or sorry, 10 rear, 3 hull points, and it is an open top chariot vehicle. The Herald on top is the same stat line as before. Except has a higher, exact same stat line as before. I think, yep. So, no point going over that. So for the Blood Throne, Warrior, you get Hellblade, special rules, Blood for the Blood God, Demon of Khorne, Deep Strike, Fearless, Skull Thrones. But you get a Bloodletter Crew. In the Assault phase, this model makes 2 additional Strength for AP3 attacks, result at Weapon Skill 5, so great for killing Space Marines. These attacks are made Initiative 4. This can grant an extra pile and move. On a turn in which this model charges, the strength of these attacks is increased to 5. Gore Feast. Whenever this model's Hammer of Wrath hits cause 1 or more unsaved wounds in a single phase, roll a d6. On a score 4+, the blood thrown regains a single hull point lost earlier in the battle. Solid. So you throw them into combat and hopefully just keep going and slaughtering everyone. Totem for the Chosen Legion. Units of the Khorne Daemonkin faction within 6 inches of the model benefit from the Herald's Locus, exactly as if they were part of the same unit. Cool. Nice. So, this is the Herald's Locus. That's okay. So cool stuff. So all the people around him benefit. All great. Up next we have the Skull Taker, the champion of Khorne. The Skull Taker is 100 points now. Used to be 100 points. Pretty much nothing's changed with it. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 9, strength 5, toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 9, 4 attacks, leadership 8, 3 up save. And Locus of Khorne is a lesser Locus of Abjuration. Warlord trait is Favorite of Khorne. Special rules for the Blood God, Demon of Khorne, Deep Strike, Fearless, Independent Character, Skull to Skull Throne. But it has artifacts. It has a Cloak of Skulls, which gives a 3-up armor save. And the Slayer's Sword, because it's a very good painter in Golden Demon competitions. And it's a strength user, AP3, type melee, decapitating blow, which is any to wound rolls of 6 cause instant death, and Soul Blaze. So solid HQ choice there, 100 points, nothing wrong with that. Now we get into the Bloodthirster territories, and there's 3 Bloodthirsters in this codex. The first one starts at the same cost as the old Bloodthirster, 250 points, same stat line, weapon skill, ballistic skill 10. Strength toughness 6, 5 wounds, initiative 9, 6 attacks, leadership 9, 3 up save. And you get a flying monster creature, because it's a Bloodthirster. And it's Warrior, Warp Forged Armor, Lash of Khorne, Axe of Khorne. Let's go over the weapons for a second, because this will really separate the guys. So Lash of Khorne and Axe of Khorne. So the Axe of Khorne. Let me go over these. So the Lash of Khorne is a shooting attack, 12-inch range, strength 6, AP2, assault 1, killing Terminators. And the Axe of Khorne is strength user, AP2, melee, decapitating blow, specialist weapon. Once again, any 2 wound rolls of 6, instant death. Cool. So that is the standard, that's basically the standard Bloodthirster. But now we have the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage. Insensate Rage. Sorry. He's insane with rage. Same stat line as before. I think he's a higher initiative. Is the initiative 9 compared to the other 8? Nope, same stat line as before. So strength, weapon skill, ballistic skill 10, strength toughness 6, 5 wounds, initiative 9, 6 attacks, leadership 9, 3 up save. But he has a better weapon. He has the Great Axe of Khorne, which is a strength D AP2 weapon that strikes at initiative 1. Yeah. Strength D. So he's going to go in and just do some demolition to everything that he attacks. And of course, special rules: Blood for the Blood God, Demon of Khorne, Deep Strike, Fearless Rage, Skull for the Skull Throne. So he's nasty. So for that extra 30 points, you get a Strength D weapon, or sorry, extra 25 points, you get a Strength D weapon. That's pretty nasty. So he'll fly around the battlefield, get in close combat, and just destroy anything he wants. Cool stuff. So solid HQ choice. Bit expensive, but it went, again, in combination with all these Warp Charge tokens. Not Warp Charge. I keep saying Warp Charge. Blood Tithe tokens. It's going to be crazy. And next is the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster. So it's the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster. And the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster is 300 points, so 25 more than the previous one, 50 more than the base. And same stat line as before. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 10, strength toughness 6. 5 wounds, initiative 9, 6 attacks, leadership 9, 3 up save. And his unit composition 1, Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster. Warp gear, his warrior is Warp Charge Armor, Hellfire, Blood Flail, Axe of Khorne. So let's go look up Hellfire and Blood Flail. Hellfire and Blood Flail. So the Blood Flail is a ranged weapon, a strength 12. It's it's a shooting weapon and a close combat weapon. Shooting weapon is ranged 12 inches, strength 7, AP2, assault D3. And then in close combat, it's strength user, AP2, melee, specialist weapon. And then the other thing I was looking for Hellfire, which is a flamer. It's a flamer weapon with a Strength 5, AP 4, Assault 1, Soul Blaze. So good. He has some firing potential. He can fly around the battlefield and shoot stuff and kill some Terminators and flame some guys and have some fun. And then get in close combat and rip people to shreds. Personally, I like the close combat oriented Insensate Rage one, but he's pretty cool. And then he has an Axe of Khorne. And he also has Hatred, I believe. So his special rules: Adamantium Will, Blood for the Blood God, Demon of Khorne, Deep Strike, Fearless, Hatred, characters. So all characters. Skull for the Skull Throne. So he's going to have fun, fly around the battlefield, killing stuff too. And that's it. Those are the HQs. So let's go over, I think there was an let's go over the one of the formations, just to tie this together. Because one of the formations had, I think it was a Brazen Onslaught. Nope, I am incorrect. Maybe it wasn't the formation rules for them. Gore Pack. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I think of the Charnel cohort. Yeah. So let's go over the Charnel cohort, because it involves a lot of the HQs. So you have one HQ unit chosen from the following: a Demon Prince, a Herald, a Blood Throne, or a Skull Taker. 2 to 8 units of Bloodletters, 1 to 4 units of Flesh Hounds, 1 to 4 units of Blood Crushers, 0 to 4 Skull Cannon. So it's like a demon. It's a really demon-focused formation. And so the special rules you get is counterattack, solid. And Chosen of Khorne, this formation is primary attaching. You can reroll the result, rolling warlord traits. Lord of Bloodhost, this is where the cool thing is. If your formation's HQ unit is in Deep Strike Reserve, you can choose to reroll reserve rolls in that unit. Awesome. Other units from this formation arriving from Deep Strike Reserve do not scatter as long as the first model is placed within 6 inches of the formation's HQ unit. Solid. Even if they arrive from Deep Strike Reserve that same turn. So you go with the HQs first, and then you can drop everyone else around them without scattering. Nasty. And enemy units have a -2 penalty to their leadership characteristic when taking fear tests caused by this formation. Solid. Solid stuff. So that's about it. That's the HQs in a nutshell. So as I said, all of the Chaos Space Marine side got more expensive, slightly 15 to 10 points more more expensive, sorry. The Chaos side really didn't change that much. But the cool things in this codex, the new things, are the Bloodthirsters. They have 2 new Bloodthirsters, the Insensate Rage, which is my favorite one. I think he's going to run Strength D. He's just going to run around the battlefield just chopping everything to shreds. And then the other one, which has a Flamer template and a shooting attack. He has Preferred Enemy against characters. And he's going to be pretty fun too. So that's it. And when combined with these Blood Tithe points, these HQs are going to be nuts. That's the key, I think. You can either use just the standard, champion, the Space Marine Chaos Lord, sorry, as your kind of, he might be the one to use your Blood Tithe tokens with. He's a very good HQ, very good leadership. They'll pass his leadership, replace him with a Demon Prince or another Bloodthirster on the table, and have fun. He's a cheap HQ choice, so he'd be fun to replace with one. And then other than that, there's Demon Princes and Bloodthirsters, which are just as good as they were before, if not better, combined with these Blood Tithe points. Because you can give them Feel No Pain, you can give them, oh my goodness, summon more demons around them. It's going to be fun. Adamantium Will, it's going to be a lot of fun with these guys. And that's the key, I think. The key to this codex is keep track and keep those points coming. Keep the Blood Tithe points coming, use them to your advantage, and destroy your enemy. So thank you as always for watching this part 2 of my in-depth review of the new Khorne Daemonkin Codex. And stay tuned for the next one, which I'll be going over just future parts. And yeah, please like the video. Comment in the comment section down below if you agree with what I say, if you disagree, if you have anything else to add. What do you think of this new Daemonkin Codex? And stay tuned for the next parts. Till next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.